So 6 gear, 35. Now I'm gonna punch it. The third gear. And you saw how it downshifted instantly. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we are going to be talking about how to race your 10-speed Mustang GT. Yes, it is an automatic, so most people just think you're just gonna smash the gas and you should be good to go. But there are a lot more considerations such as different drive modes, where the shifter needs to be, and I will also share a little trick with you guys that will make sure that you guys win as many races as possible. Now, of course, the weather is getting nicer. A lot of people are going to Mexico to have some fun with the 10-speed Mustang, and maybe you did some mods over the winter time and you want to see how it stacks up compared to other competition that is around the same horsepower range. You want to make sure you win these races. So what I really want to cover in this video, and we're also going to show you, we're going to get on the road and demonstrate some techniques as well. Obviously, if you have the 301A or above car, you've got all these drive modes. So you can see right here at normal, I've got the Sport Plus, track mode, drag strip, and snow and wet, and back to normal. So we're gonna discuss which mode is best for some Mexico runs. And of course, we've got the shifter here as well. So you can put it in drive, you can put it in sport. Both of this can be useful, but we're gonna show you a little trick that will actually help you out. So yeah, let's talk about different modes. In terms of modes, that will depend. I think, me personally, I run track mode because if I run drag strip mode, my tires basically can't hold the power. So when it does the second to third shift, it always tries to go a little bit sideways. So if you got sticky summer tires, then you can use the drag mode. Otherwise, stick to track mode because that's going to turn off your traction control, which is needed to make sure you win all these races. It is worth noting, if you're going to be running any other mode, you want to turn the traction control off because it's not going to do it automatically. With the track mode, it's going to be automatically off. With the drag mode, it's going to be modified traction control. But if you're in Sport Plus or normal mode, your traction control is going to be on, which means you're not going to run your best time. And this video is really focusing on your roll racing with the drag strip. If you have the drag strip or you're running or you're racing light to light, then you can just slam it into track mode or drag mode and just basically floor it, and you should be good to go. But with roll racing, there are a couple of techniques you want to do to make sure you win those races. All right, so the modes are covered now. We are gonna start in track mode or drag mode depending on how sticky your tires are. And of course, we wanna be in the right gear, and that is where the trick comes in, because if you just smash the gas pedal, your car's gonna think for a little bit and then it's gonna downshift and then go. And I'll demonstrate all of that for you once we get out on the road. And if you manually shift it with the paddle shifters, you will get an okay response, but it's not gonna be as responsive. And depending on what the car you're running against, if it's like a very close race, you're probably gonna lose because of the paddle shifter, because there's like very slight delay, which isn't an issue if you're just driving the car around, but if you're racing, every millisecond matters. So you wanna make sure you let the car do its own thing. So you wanna be in the right gear. So you wanna be in the right gear, right mode, and the right shifter selection. Me personally, I run the track mode, so the traction control is off. I don't run the drag mode because my tires aren't sticky enough. And instead of letting my shifter be in drive, which is also okay, I prefer to leave it in sport. So you want to leave the shifter in sport mode, get into the right gear, and when you floor it, you want to bump the shifter just a little bit to put it back to drive. And that is the key to making sure you get the best time. So we're going to go out on the road, demonstrate all of these techniques to you, so you can make sure you're winning all of these races with your 10-speed Mustang in Mexico. So let's go. All right, so we're out on the road right now, and we're just cruising at around 33 miles per hour. So let's say if you were doing a roll around 40 or so. Right now I'm in 6th gear. I'm in sport mode. For the purpose of this video, I have the traction control on. But if you're in Mexico or at this track, feel free to turn off the traction control from there. But yeah, so I'm in 7th gear now, actually, 40 miles per hour. Let the road straighten up a little bit, and you can see what I mean. So 6th gear, 35. Now I'm gonna punch it. The third gear, and you saw how it downshifted instantly to third, but there was just slight lag where it does this kick down to get you in the right gear. And then that's where the issue comes in if you are trying to race, especially if you've got a car that is very close and you might be able to take them, but it's going to be a very close race. That's where you got to be careful, because if you are cruising around and you're doing this kick down, it's gonna take time. So right now I'm in 3rd gear, it's fine. But let's say if I'm cruising now back to like, it's probably gonna get to like 6th gear and maybe even 7. But if I was to floor it again from here, it drops to 3rd instantly, but there is a split-second delay where it's gonna do the kickdown. That's natural for all automatic transmissions. Unless you've got the DCT, you're just gonna experience that. That's just the reality of it. And then that's where the difference comes in. If you're in sport mode, even if you have the traction control off, that little split second that you get can make it whether you win or lose the race, just based on that little small factor. So me personally, when I'm out in Mexico or at the track, if you're leaving sport mode, it's fine to have fun here and there with that. But if you're going ahead and trying to race, especially with a car that's like very closely matched to you, that little split second delay is gonna make you lose the race. But now I'm gonna show you how you can actually make sure it works all in your favor. So right now I'm in 4th gear, it's jumping to 5th. Again, still in sport mode. Now I'm gonna downshift. And let's just do the 3rd gear because that's what it was doing, automatic mode. But now I'm gonna flick the shifter. So I'm gonna floor it in 3rd gear, but I'm gonna flick the shifter into drive. So let's go and do that. And as you saw, it just goes to fully automatic shifting before it hits the red line. Of course, I didn't go all the way to the red line, but if I was to go all the way to the red line, what this does is, so it allows you to get in the right gear with the sport mode, because when you're sport mode and you manually shift it, it's gonna hold the gear for you. So that's what I did. I held the gear, in this case with the 3rd gear, but when I floored it, I flicked this into drive. So when you flick it into drive, it doesn't automatically revert to automatic shifting right away, but it's gonna rev it out because I am flooring it, so it's gonna go all the way to the red line. But as it gets closer, now it's in automatic mode because I put it back into drive. You guys saw how the transmission changed, and it wasn't the paddle shifter mode anymore. So it changes that, and then it just does it automatic shifted. The benefit of that is you start off in the right gear. And like I said, if you're closely matched with the car, you want to start in the right gear. So you could paddle shift it at that point and it will be okay. But again, there's going to be a slight delay, not as big as the kickdown where it does it in fully automatic mode. So I used to use paddle shifters for racing, but now I have reverted back to this trick where your shifter is in S, and when you floor it, you take that split second and put it back into drive, and then it takes over the automatic shifting. The good thing is, as soon as you put it into drive, it doesn't change the gear for you. It knows what you're doing. You're flooring the car, so it will rev out all the way to red line, but now it's not in fully paddle mode, so it will actually shift out of it for you, so you don't have to manually shift it at all. The benefit is obviously you get to have the car in the right gear, right power band, and you have to worry about shifting by yourself. You just flick the stick from sport to drive, and that is it. And that to me is how you're gonna win a lot of races in Mexico when you're getting ready for the season. Personally, if you have stick gear tires, I definitely recommend running it in drag mode versus the sport or track mode. Track mode is good, and that's basically what I use because the traction control is off and it still feels pretty good. Drag mode just doesn't work with my tires. I always go sideways, and that to me is not worth taking the risk. So yeah guys, there you have it. If you want to win races with the 10-speed transmission, you gotta have your car in track or drag mode. Put this into shifter into S, and once you have the shifter in S, you're just gonna floor the car, and while you're doing it, you're just gonna bump it up to drive, and that basically allows you to automatically shift but still be in the right gear when you're starting the race. If you're just in sport mode, track mode, or even drag mode, you're never gonna be in the right gear, which means the little kick down, the time it's gonna take for you to downshift, that is gonna make or break the race. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video on how to properly race your 10-speed automatic Mustang GT. And if you did, make sure you smash that like button. Comment below what is your preferred mode when you're out in Mexico. And of course, subscribe to Red 50 for more videos.